We find Drew pressed up against a tree in a bitter cold mist, biting cold, clawing through his body, shambling footsteps and figures silhouetted in the fog, but not clearly visible. Red's just bolted as Drew is hidden, and you hear him scampering into the distance.
I draw the Kingfisher sword.
Okay.
And peer round the side of the tree to do a little spot check to see if these figures are approaching my direction. Have you noticed me? Have I seen with a crit fail? I see nothing.
As you peer around the edge of enormous conifer, pressing against the trunk, your face comes around, literally it's just shambling towards you. There's a sort of skeleton emerges, its face coming through the fog, tendril peeling away. And you find yourself face to face with the skeleton. Roll initiative.
Initiative? Second fight in 20 weeks. It's good, I like it. Oh god, what was initiative? Okay, here we go. 3! 2 crit fails in a row.
Well, at least you get him out of the way.
Oh dear. Oh dear. So I'm face to face with some undead skeleton type creature.
Okay.
Do I recognise this creature as the one that I encountered previously by the river?
You can make a perception check as it emerges. No, you don't. It's a 2. So as you peer around the edge, emerging, there's a skeletal face. And its eyes look on you, baleful, empty sockets, staring, lifeless. Rictus grin on its face. As a sword thrusts towards you.
Oh dear, he's armed as well, does he?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
dear.
just as he emerges shambling, he sort of turns, looks at you and just steps straight towards you and sword thrusts.
Oh shit.
No.
Nope.
So you're peering around the edge, the skeleton emerges, full form, its head baleful, empty socket staring at you, a slight clanking of ancient chainmail on its body. Its baleful eyes lock on you as if it can see you. Richter's smile staring at you as the sword thrusts towards you. You rotate away from sticking to your back, so having kind of peered around, you rotate around, slamming the sword, pinning its sword against the tree, preventing it from hitting you. The blade stabbing past you as you prevent it from pulling free easily.
So, pinning the sword with my right hand, I will grab the axe from my belt.
Oh,
Keeping his sword pinned and trying to get him in the top of the head with the axe.
Go for it. Yes, you burned it.
Yeah, I just forgot that I had it on my belt. So, what would that be? I've got nothing for it. Axe would be strength. Oh, axe is +3, so 15. King pop!
Okay, yeah, so you pin the sword, reach into your belt, drawing the hatchet that you put there so long ago.
That I forgot about, yeah.
And whilst it's pinned, just swing round, arcing the axe towards its head. Roll for damage. D6 for a hatchet.
3 damage.
You arc that hatchet down and it just chinks into the skull but not through it. Its eyes still firmly on you.
Could I, before he makes a strike, could I quickly do a perception check to see if there's any other of these things coming in on me? With a 6. The rolls are so consistent.
You've got the sword pinned. It rips his sword free and attempts to thrust again. So you've pinned the sword, hit it in the skull. The sword's here. As you've reached around, it withdraws the sword and immediately thrusts again.
Yes. He misses.
And thrusts it, and you from there you just parry straight across with the sword blade, preventing him from being able to cut into you, almost sticking to the sword as it retracts and comes back in, guiding it out of the way so it's pointing fair away from you. You still have that axe hand back ready. And you can sort of hear an emerging shadows start moving in towards you.
Oh
And you can hear this creak of more ancient armour.
Oh dear.
Shambling feet. Over to you.
So I've parried him. I've got the axe in this hand. I think I'll parry him and then follow through with a downward cut.
Yeah, but what are you on swords?
Oh yeah, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 to hit.
20 to hit because of the sword.
9 plus 6.
Plus the sword.
Yeah, well,
You come in, you arc down, roll a d8 and just one.
Oh.
Sorry.
2.
And you parry and you swing the sword up and over. It feels ever so light, and as it touches, it doesn't even feel like it's hit anything. It whips down through, cutting straight down through the skull, into the chest, through the chest, and out through the bottom of the chest.
I don't even feel any resistance at all.
It stands, eye sockets, empty in you. The hollowness seems to somehow dissipate, and one half slides one way as the other half slumps down, clattering. It's the smashing of metal and bones to the floor.
Nice. So what was the plus for that sword? Because I've got plus 9 on that, and then that is
plus 5.
Plus 5 because of the sword itself. Wow. Okay, cool.
Emerging, heading towards you, another skeletal being marches out. This time it's wearing very ancient looking small plates all over it, sort of armour that comes all the way down like a coat down to its knees. The plates seem to be once upon a time blackened, but now they're sort of rusted and tarnished, half of them eaten away. Nothing but bones holding a shield and a short sword. The short sword rusted.
Are there any daubings on the shield? Any markings?
It's just ancient and worn. I mean, make a perception check. Yeah, it's just ancient and worn and battered. In the heat of the moment, you're too busy focusing on cutting it down, and the elation and surprise at the ease with which you cut this beam down.
Okay. I tend to strike at the other foe coming my way.
Okay, so you take, having cut it down, you see the other one emerging, you take one step with your left, readying yourself, and step with the right foot straight into it as you bring the next sword stroke on. Roll
Out the way. What was that? 9, 18, 20, 22, 3, 24.
Okay, roll for damage.
Alrighty. 6.
There's D8.
D8, sorry. 7! Whew. Away with you.
You, on the counter swing, you swing up into it. The sword half cuts through the shield and in through one of the creature's legs, but not severing it. As you cut clean up through, half severing the shield. As by the time the tips cleared out,
Wow.
sword high, you find yourself staring in the face of this thing still coming towards you. It looks shocked, if something not alive could. Its jaw opens as it reels back and then thrusts forward with its short sword.
Nope.
So even from on high, this time as your sword whips that way, you see the short sword coming in and you catch it with the axe, pulling the blade away from yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
Over to you.
Corey's sword like that, the shield sort of have to. I just want to like stab up the way through the ribcage. Like that, man.
Okay.
9, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 to hit. I don't think I'm going to miss.
No, I don't think you will. Well, you say that now.
Oh, mock the gods, the dice gods, will you? 6 damage. Mock the dice gods.
Thrusting the sword, so it goes up through the shield and arcing around, bringing it straight up under the shield and up through the rib cage, and it smashes up. The tip smashes up through the skull.
Nice.
So as the tip penetrates up through sort of the back of the skull and the top of the neck parts the head and it cuts through the centre of the rib cage as well. The bones clattered to the ground. The remains of the armour torn open by the cut of the blade.
Wow.
Head flying off.
Who's next?
Staring back at you, empty.
Quick look around. Are there any others coming?
There's another one emerging. Make a perception check.
Okay. Natural 20.
And you see 5 more shadows.
And they're between me and the castle.
Well, they're all closing in around you now, but they were between you and the castle.
Yeah, okay. And they're all approaching my direction.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stand my ground.
Okay. So another one emerges close enough, this time again wearing a different suit of armour. Thin plates, each stacked so they overlap each other, of what looks like leather, with leather pauldrons coming down over the arms. This time it's just carrying a spear as it steps out and thrusts towards you.
Oof, that hits.
Take 2 damage. As it steps out and thrusts, this time you thrust up. As you thrust up through, you turn to your right slightly just in time to see another empty-eyed, skeletal head emerging and thrusting a dagger.
I don't have any HP! She never got into a fight that much, so I've never really sorted out HP. Thank you.
6.
So, what was that, sorry? What have you got?
That's 15. 21. Sorry.
Sorry, folks!
Hadn't done a hit point.
Right.
Sorry, we're more interested in the roll. You take 2.
2 damage, yep.
The spear thrusts, catching you in your side, mostly going through your clothes as it withdraws again, readying for another attack. You can see more shadows lumbering through the fog towards you as you turn on your next foe.
Okay. So he stabbed me, he's pulled it out, I'm like, I'll try and take a swinging blow towards his legs and try and take this one's legs off.
Okay.
Just, yeah, a lot.
Yeah,
18 plus a whole load. 1 damage. Not that much.
So you thrust up, the spear comes in and cuts through, the spear withdraws. You follow the spear around, chasing the spear, and you cut up, clipping its elbow, and sort of the bone pops off of the end of its elbow, but it doesn't fall to pieces.
It was that the elbow it was carrying the spear with?
It was two-handed.
It's two-handed, obviously, yeah. So, okay, that's something at least.
Oh, right. So you cut off his right elbow.
Okay. Over to you, I guess.
As it thrusts again.
Just misses.
As it thrusts, so you cut off its elbow, the elbow pings off one way as it thrusts in again. This time you step around, pinning the sword down, so you're moving it past you. So you're sort of on the outside edge of the spear, facing it, and 3 more come emerging close enough to strike. It's you.
It's over to me. I will take a swipe of, so I've parried his spear. I'm going to grab the sword, both hands, come with a big, massive two-handed swipe down. But a big two-handed one, so like really trying, because this guy seems really armoured, so I'm going to try and give it my all here. 12 plus a whole load.
Go for it, damage.
8.
You literally, as you pin it and then raise it up overhead, grabbing with both hands, still with the hatchet held.
Oh yeah.
So you've got sort of both. Bring it down with all your might and cut literally straight down through him, through the plates of rusted armour and sort of half bit of armour, through the skull, splitting the skull, splitting the spine.
Wow.
Down through, all the way through its pelvis and the two halves, and just collapse to the floor.
I love this sword.
There's 3 more.
And for my second action, could I do defensive?
Yep. So you can ready another attack. But you have to take an attack before you do it.
Yeah, I'm going to go defensive actually, was my first initial thought. Because it's 3 in coaching and they're all striking distance here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that. Defensive.
Okay, so 2 more spear wielding guys come heading towards you. They're getting rid of grimaces. Same kind of armour as the other guy though. And another sort of ripped, rusted chainmail suited guy carrying a sword also comes towards you. Each swinging for you. As you swing, as you split the guy in 2, a spear comes for you, you parry it out of the way, another spear comes for you, you hook your axe over and pin that down, pinning both spears under the axe as the sword comes swinging, arcing from another direction, whipping the sword up to cover you.
Nice. Nice. Your rolls, dude, are so consistent, it's great. Okay, so I got 3 of them, 2 with the thing, parried that. What I'd like to kind of do is, as the motion of parrying, continue that and spinning round, continuing to spin round with the sword.
Which one are you going for?
All 3 of them at once. Are they all within range?
Yeah, because they're close enough. You can cut through one, into the next as a single
try
cut.
to do 1 cut 3 dudes.
Depends what you roll.
Okay, so what, 3 rolls or 1 roll?
Just make 1 roll.
Okay. 11, 19, 21, 27. 1.
Okay, the sword wielding one. So you parry, and you spin around.
So basically, yeah. So they're here, and I wanted to kind of like spin on my heels, so it's like a full motion round.
So you pin down, you parry this other guy, and then you place your feet, and you quickly pivot and spin around, all the way arcing, blade extended.
Yeah.
As you disconnect, as you flip your head around so you can see where you're going to cut before you cut it. You see the movement of its sword easing towards you, as if thrusting to where you were pivoting and stepping slightly. You're no longer where you were. As blade thrusts past you, as you pull your sword down, cutting through both its skull and its neck, shattering its skull and collapsing to the floor at your feet. In between you, it's now just a suit of armour and a heap of bones and 2 more spearmen facing you.
Okay.
Spearmen start one sort of thrusting sequentially. One thrusts and then withdraws, the other thrusts and then withdraws. Having cut him down, the first blade comes in and you parry it, turning it off. The second blade comes in and just by pushing the sword forward, so you're sort of holding one spear on the guard, pushing it forward, keeping it held on the guard, catching the other one, so you have both one spear pointing that way and one that way and your other hand free.
Wow. Okay. So I've kind of like caught both of the spears that are crisscrossed like that, and so I've got them both like that. What I'd like to do is try and do some sort of like twisting motion with the sword like that to try and like break the spears, to kind of just go, because if I've caught them on the hill, I can twist the sword to try and
you could grapple them in order to do that.
Okay.
And you'd have to make a strength check to actually break it. It's not easy to break.
Yeah, so okay, so I've got them there. Well, I think. Yeah. Well, what I'll do is I'll try and boot one of them off. So I've got them both with the spears attached to the, like kind of hooked onto the hill. I want to try and kick one.
Okay.
It's just this flight strength check. No.
No.
7.
Okay, so you pin it down, you go to kick one of them, and then what else are you doing?
Go to kick one of them, and the other one. I've still got the hatchet in my hand, actually. So I go to kick one of them, and then I would like to sort of like move the spear out of the way with the sword and try and hit again with the hatchet.
Okay, so you try and push the spears down. You go to kick one of them, but the spear lifts up and you end up with your ankle just hitting into the spear as it tries to raise it. As you reach over and try to hit with the axe, you find yourself being pushed away and having to push the axe down into the middle as they fend you off to a better distance for them.
Ooh, one of them hits, yeah.
Okay. The first spearman, having pushed you back, immediately tries to thrust a spear in. You immediately parry that with the hatchet, and as you parry with the hatchet, the other spear slides in through the gap, hitting, but you manage to twist away from it.
Just catch me.
It does fall.
Ooh.
And it sort of just clips across the top of your shoulder, cutting a neck. You can feel the sudden pain of blood surging through your shoulder. And as you feel that blood, and you turn, as you're turning to avoid, you see another chain mailed and sword wielding coming out of the fog towards you.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I'm just gonna fight on, I think.
Do it.
Okay, so I've got both of them. Just being hit by that spear. Tried to hit with the hatchet, didn't really work. Caught the spear with that, so I'm kind of like crossed over with. I'm sort of being pinned a little bit. I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try and intimidate them.
They're skeletons.
Yeah.
Don't think you can take it.
Yeah. Does Drew know that though?
You know what Drew does now.
Okay, no, that's not a good idea. Okay, so what I'm going to do is there enough distance away for for them not to get an attack of opportunity.
No, they're in combat.
They're in
These
combat,
two spearmen are about
right
in
on
combat.
me.
They're
Okay.
right on you.
I'm gonna fight on. I'm just gonna fight.